Hey, it's Kurt the Boat Doctor. Hey, if you want to see all my videos, go to Marina and go to YouTube. That's where most of them are. You can go to Kurt Nebdal and get some of them. There's some good ones on there, and then Ryan Lancaster has some. But most of them I put on anymore is on Marina's webpage, www.ymarina.com. Then go to YouTube, and the Boat Doctor is there. Hey, we're out here in a 2021 hewcraft 180 Sportsman. No, actually, you know what? I think it's a 2022. You know that? I could be wrong. You know, I better check. You know me, I hate to be wrong. Yeah. There's a 2. Yeah, 21. I was right the first time. It's got the active 3-in-1 transducer. You got the 90 horse. The prop I would kind of leave it is hitting the rev limiter, but barely. And by the time you trim it where you need to, it settles for where it should be, and you add people fuel and all that. 99 with light between 6 and 7 1 mile an hour incoming tide, so it only makes about a mile an hour difference. Backs up great. Tide bar works great. Worse down. Hit this button here. And then you hit it. Whoa, geez, the pressure on that thing. Whoa, almost knocked me out of the boat. Nothing even to shoot at. There you go. Throw that down there. Gas fills right there. Full tank of gas. Single battery switch right there. And back down in here's a Seacock valve. So if you spring a leak anywhere here, that needs to be tightened up a little bit. That's easy. Just take your hands and tighten it up. If you sprung a leak, you'll hear it go womp, womp, womp. Okay, that means you got a leak somewhere, so then you can shut it off back there. Yamaha Micron, change that once a year no matter what, and stick with the Yamaha. That's one thing I would say is stick with that. They got the little vent for ventilation. These are all foam filled. And then the books are in here, the pins in there, the ski pylons there. And then what we can do here, I'm just BSing, and I'm just going to show you a little bit on the Simrad. But when you come down, I'll go through it. I set it all up for you. So just push that button, that turns on. Okay, bilge pump. Yep, that works. And then that's auto. If you push down, that's on. That's auto. Wipers. Downs both. Ups, starboard. Nav light. That works. Okay, live. Well, you don't have one. Courtesy light, you don't have one. Horn, you boop boop, doop 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 doop. And if you notice, I got this down. Okay, the reason is if this is up, you go like it's gonna hit this. They've already got 3 spacers in there, so if you're not using it, I'll do that, and then that way your prop don't spin anyway. And then use your control box. So if you bring that back, trim that down. Okay, and then you can hit accept right here, and then hit not now. And see, I already got this with your data bar set up. You got your down scan, your side scan, your traditional with down scan overlay, and then you got your GPS, and then of course you can go into all these other waypoints, tides, if you want to see what the tide is, boom. You want to change the date, boom, change it 2 months down the road if you want. Go over here and hit it again. You got vessels AIS if you wanted that. You'd have to get a VHF that has AIS capability. Waypoints, tides, tracks, alarms. If you want to set in here, just want to go to charts, boom, there's your charts. And then I got speed over ground, depth, water temp, latitude and longitude, course over ground, your steer. So if you made a waypoint, like let's say we're going to go over here right there. Okay, then you go menu, and then you hit go to cursor, and that just made me and I'll run across land. Of course, anytime you set a waypoint, that's just for straight shots unless you want to make a route, because if not, you're going to end up going across land. See, and then you can just scroll down and see where it is. See, ooh, it's way over there. But anyway, then that tells you your steer down here, and it'll also boat to it's 343 degrees, and then you can put destination. You can change any of these numbers. And then this one here, if it's transparent, that means you're cursored out. So don't, if you want someone to find you, don't give them coordinates, give them these, because you need to clear that cursor like there, clear it, and then that's gone. So this is where you're at. The other one's where the end of that waypoint was. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we trim the little one down. Okay, to start, you want to give it about maybe 3 pumps. lift this lever to where it stops, and then give it about maybe a quarter more up, push and turn on the key. If it acts like it's going to die, push the key in again. If it's going to die, push in the key again. Then just go on, then let the idle down, and it'll go down. And I did adjust the idle. Idle was way too high. And anyway, then when you can go all the way down there, that means your motor's warm. Okay, then all you do is just turn the key, put it in gear, and then when you're doing that, you can trim. Oh, I wanted to show you something too. Okay, hear that? Okay, here. Okay, so if that motor all of a sudden was going, get just the lower end unit in the water to pick up water. If that changes from a high to a lower sound when you're just starting to trim it, that means your battery's probably weak. So then you're better off to start that thing up, because if you trim it all the way down like this, there, it just clicked in, and then you don't even have to look at the trim gauge. You'll know it'll go there. Okay, because if you got down there and you took every bit of juice out of it to start it. Okay, you want that down as a rudder. You really don't need the tide bar if you didn't want it. So there we go. We're going to start that baby up. We're going to put it in gear. And there's 3.7. And then if you want to see what your instruments are, okay, then you can go menu, you can go basic, you can go digital right there if you wanted to. 1x2, 31, correct, try, start, trip. So as soon as you turn this thing on, it's going to start making a track line. We're doing 6.2. We're at 359.0 due north, right there, 45 feet, water temp 50. 6.4, now we're going to turn it. See how good she turns? Now we should be doing about 7 this way. If that wheel turns like that a little bit, trim that main one up. See how it stopped? You need to take your hand off the wheel. 6.9, so I was right. So then you want to bring this back. You want to first thing shut it off, then trim it up. Because if you shut it off first, even if you don't trim that motor up, and you just take off with this one, you'll know that it's down. You're going to get spray, the boat's going to lean, you're going to lose a few miles an hour. This is fuel injection. Of course, if that's there, it will not start. It has to be here to start. So if you turn the battery switch on, you have no gauges up front here, that means you didn't turn the battery switch. But if you do have gauges up here, that works. This is there, this will not start. So you got to have it clunk. Then you just turn the key and go. Pump the primer bulbs every time, just do it. It doesn't hurt, especially if you let it sit for about a month. Okay, so you do not need to use this at all unless you flood the motor. Safety lanyard, if that ain't in, it'll crank, but it won't start. But you'll hear a beep. Okay, if you hear that beep and it doesn't start, I forgot the lanyard and put the lanyard in. Okay, so then we just tap that baby into gear. See how that's hitting right there? So if you bump that up, look back, make sure that kicker's up. That's good. That way your prop ain't spinning, I guess, is one way to look at it. You already got 3 spacer bars. Okay, you got to make sure everything ain't going to fly out of here because this thing's torquey. Ready? Whoa! Whoa, baby! Whoa, back, whoa! That scared me there. That's a lot of torque. Holy moly, that was like 2.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds, right up on top. Okay, plane, you're looking at probably about 23 miles an hour. Okay, cruise, just start trimming. Right about there, about 4,500, 26 miles an hour. See that? Because I made a waypoint. I'm off. I need to be over here. But I was running ground land too, because I just made a waypoint way over there. Okay, so that's cruise. Whoa! Feel that? Whoa! Man, this thing goes. Dave, man, he settled down there on that. Whoa! You can see when you hit it. Whoa! It's got. Whoa! This thing's got some power. Whoa! Whew. I needed some goggles. This thing's a goer, about 37 boat's got a lot of low end. So anyway, hey, this is a good boat. You got a winter chicken dinner. You gotta love it. Very stable, quiet. Got some good bow rise. Like, you need that front end to come up, because if you have it just do this like that, if you had a boat road like that, you get like 3 footers, you're going to get up on the windows, you'll be using them wipers non-stop. So if you got a little bit of bow rise like that, that's beautiful, because then the water's going to go up underneath. All right, the boat doctor, Silver Fox, Mr. Hollywood. Oh God, you can call me anything. Just don't call me late for a boat ride, okay? Boat doctor out.